So, my friends, I say that because I also know that this is the year of realization in varying degrees and varying ways, but at least glimpses of it, and at least tangible experiences with it. Doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly you're going to know everything, which is not enlightenment whatsoever, but you're going to have those breakthroughs and glimpses that are so important because once you have that, you know it's possible. You know it's real. Once you have that true breakthrough in consciousness, and you know you can have it again and again and again. Then you start realizing you can have that full consciousness state. And you can also have the human limited state. They can be together. You can still experience human life in the way you've always kind of wanted to, and still be very conscious and realized and divine together, together and separate. But you can walk this planet as a master, and you can enjoy this planet as a human. This is the year of realization for each and every one of you. And not just, it's not about this calendar year, but now is the time for that realization. You paid all the dues, you've taken all the classes, you've done all the suffering, and now is the time. Something has shifted in you, in the planet. Something continues to shift with this thing we call the new earth. The realization that the new earth can be here on this earth. Maybe the old earth doesn't even recognize it or know what it is, but you do, and that's what's important. It's the year of realization in a way that maybe you might not have expected, and it may come to you when you least expect it. It may come when you're sitting here at a shout. It may come when you're walking in the park. It may come in the middle of some turmoil. But you'll start having these breakthroughs. You'll start understanding what consciousness is. I use the term a lot, consciousness. It's awareness. It's where you place your realization. It's where you place your awareness. It's where you place yourself. It's an interesting word. It's been used for ages, and still not many people really understand it, because ultimately consciousness is an experience. And that's what you're going to have this year, a realization, an experience with it. It's beyond words. It will be something very personal and intimate. It won't be about God and the angels coming down. It'll be you and you. And in that experience, in that breakthrough, you're going to realize things about yourself that are so expansive. Beautiful is not even close to accurate. It's so glorious. And you're going to realize that that was always there. Always there. It's a very strange feeling. I know from my own personal experiences and working with the other call them ascended masters, but it's a very strange experience, because in this moment of realization, it's like you say, I know it was always there. Even though I didn't realize it, I know it was always there. It was like something that was in the shadows, always present with you, but suddenly is illuminated. And it's you. It's the real you. It's the amazing you. It's a very strange experience to, well, if I knew it was there, it was so familiar, if I knew it was there, why didn't I realize it before? What was keeping me from that? Why didn't I just allow it? There's a lot of reasons for that. One could say that the free self, the realized self, which you might call from the future, but it's really not, that realized self was allowing you the human to go through your experiences, which are its experiences, not for the sake of lessons or evolution, but just for the sake of experience. It was allowing itself to have a deep experience in being a human. And therefore, there was this kind of artificial separation between the human and the divine. And could you imagine the divine also in this moment of cosmic realization of itself, the divine also going, I didn't quite realize what I was going through as a human. It was always there. The experiences were always there, but I didn't really realize it. So it's this beautiful realization by all parts of self. And you'll have this experience in different forms. I'm telling you that right now. You will have this experience because you're ready. You're absolutely ready. And I'm talking to everyone here in this room, but also watching in. And this experience, this breakthrough or breakthroughs, are also very difficult because you're going to feel like you get pulled back into a limited reality. You're going to feel like you're pulled back into mass consciousness, and you will be in many ways. You're going to try to grab onto that experience and replicate it, do it again. You can't make it happen, it just does. And it's going to lead to a degree of depression, anxiety, coffee, and that's when you laugh. It's going to be very hard to laugh, but that's when you laugh. You're going to want that experience again. You're going to, once you've tasted that freedom, nothing else is going to suffice. Once you've tasted that part of yourself, one could call it perhaps the love of self, it's very hard to go back into a limited human consciousness. And there's going to be depression, anger, over attempting to recreate the experience. Let's say that you have the experience while you're out fishing. It's a beautiful summer day and you're out fishing like masters like to do, and you have this experience, and it's one of these things that is even hard to put into words, and you go back to the shore, you go back to your house, you go back to your life, and you get all depressed because suddenly you feel like everything's getting contracted or constricted again. So what do? Well, you go out the next day in the boat and row out there and start fishing again. It's like, damn it, where's my realization? Almost thinking that it was the boat or the fish or the fishing pole or whatever. You can't recreate it that way. What you can do is realize that once the breakthrough occurs, I mean, the real realization. I know you've all had degrees of it, but this will transcend anything you've experienced before. Once you have this experience, there is that inner knowingness that it's there, it's real. It's not just talk anymore. It's not just us getting together like this once a month. It is so real. And that's the time where you take a couple of good deep breaths and you just allow. It will cycle back, so to say. I'm oversimplifying it, but you have this breakthrough realization, this amazing, this part of me was always there, the love and the compassion and the ease. You have that breakthrough and you go back to your human life. That, you could say that breakthrough kind of does this interesting spiral. I'm oversimplifying it, but interesting spiral up to your divinity and then back down again. You got these spiraling, beautiful energies going, and they're going to meet again, and again, and again, and again. And then at some point, they're just going to stay connected. They're going to stay in consciousness with each other. that's when you'll have this big smile on your face, kind of a dumb smile. Masters have dumb smiles, because they can. Just dumb smile. You're going to have that big dumb smile on your face, and you're going to know that you are realized, that you are the I am. You can still play human. And that's the amazing thing. You realize these other masters, they never got a chance to stick around and still play human. You can play limited and know that you're really not. You can play poor me and know that you're really not. You can play the absolute amazing creative being, human being, and you are, but you're also divine. You can play anything you want. That's why I'm waiting for my book to come out, Active Consciousness. Waiting for that to come out, because you'll really understand then. It's just an act of consciousness. You can act. Can you imagine acting any way you want and not worried about getting stuck in it, and not thinking you're just faking it, but you're just playing with consciousness? Maybe that's the subtitle of the book that hasn't come out yet. Playing with consciousness. It's amazing. Amazing.
Here's a tissue for your issue.
Here's the tissue to write Calder a note and say to finish the cover. So, dear Shamba, let's take a deep breath with that. Yes, I have come to love you dearly. And this is the year where we're going to start realizing. It's either that, or I'll tell you right now, if we don't start realizing now, either you're going to leave out of frustration and disgust with me or with yourself. Either you're going to leave because you just are so ready. You don't want to hold back anymore. Either you're going to leave or I'm going to leave. That's a promise. No. Yeah, actually, yeah. And actually, that's the good news. Because if you're not coming into conscious realization, let's say this year, let's say for the next 12, up until Valentine's Day next year, that's a little over a year. If you're not, I don't feel I've done my job of beating you enough. Of entertaining you, of doing whatever. I don't feel I've done my job. I don't feel that I've showed you who you really are. So I would leave if there's not realizations. Now, doesn't mean every one of you, just 5. Just 5. So please, 5, come forward. Come on. Let's start a campaign. Keep Adamus on board campaign. So I need 5. That's funny in my book. So I think that's a good commitment to make to each other right now. By February next year, we'll mark this date. Either you're going to have left, or I'm going to have left, or we're going to have realization.
What does leaving look like?
Like this. Hang on a second. Would you turn off the lights and shut down the internet? Fair enough?
Fine.
So, and now, I'm not a betting man or a betting master unless I know I'm going to win. Never place a bet unless you know you're going to win. So that should tell you something about what I know about the future. I'm not a psychic. I'm not predicting. I'm already there. Yeah, it's February 14th, 2016. Psst. Adamus did a good job. So let's continue. This is the This is the. By the way, it's so beautiful. I want you all to start doing that. You think of the future as something that hasn't happened yet. Crap, it's already happened. It really is. How do you want to arrange the elements? There's elements of life, little, energy elements and variables and things, actions and reactions and consequences. But they're just like pieces for a game board. You can arrange them any way you want. You don't have to arrange them in linear order from today to tomorrow to next week, next month. No, scramble them up. Bring the future right here, right now. It's absolutely possible. It's so fun when you can play that way.